Alrighty, so today we're going to talk about our first tutorial that can be an option for your album cover assignment that you'll start next week. So what we're going to need for this, first and foremost, we're going to be creating this splatter effect where we create this portrait that is solely based on splatter painting. Now obviously we can develop the background a little bit more, but we want to maintain the neutrality of the background so that it doesn't distract from our subject matter. So what I want to do first is we're going to find a photo, a high resolution portrait. And you can use anything that you would like for this unit or for this tutorial. Just make sure that the outside edge of the entire subject matter can be seen. We don't want anything where there's no outside edges. We want to be able to have a clean, crisp selection. So I'm just going to take that photo and I'm going to drag that into Photoshop. And there we go. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select this image from its background and get it on a white layer. So I'm going to grab my quick selection tool. I'll go to select subject. And I have a good selection here, so I'm going to go to select and mask. I'm just going to see what it looks like on white. It looks pretty good. I could touch up those edges, but it looks great. So I'll output, click OK, and I have my dancing ants, so I'm just going to hit Command C, Command V, and delete that background here. So there it is. It's on a checkered background. So I'm going to add a solid color layer, just a white layer to help clean this up a little. So I'll go to my half black, half white cookie down here at the bottom. I'm going to choose solid color, and I'll make this white. Click OK. And there we go. So I'll drag that below. So now I have my photo on a nice white layer. The next thing that we're going to do, which we've done before, is a threshold. And that's just going to convert everything to black or white. So I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and Threshold. And now with the threshold, I'm going to adjust this meter so that I have all of my details. Again, I don't want this to be too dark or too bright, so I just want this to be kind of somewhere in the middle there, which would be kind of right there. So I'll click OK, and now I'm good to go. So if you look right now in this image that I have here, it has white in it in the background, so I want to make sure that I get rid of that. So I'm going to use a color range. So I'm going to go up to Select, Color Range. Now I'm going to ignore this image here. I'm going to ignore this little menu. And I'm going to click the black here in this photo. So I'll click the black in his hair and click OK. And then I'm going to hit Command C. And then I'm going to hit Command V, and that'll go ahead and delete that white in the background. So now I have a nice, clear, transparent image that I can use for my effect here. All right. So this is ready to go. So we need to now work on our Splatter Effect page on a separate file. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new file. I'm going to go up to the top here, go to File, I'll make sure this is in inches. I'm going to make this 12 by 18. And then I'm going to make my resolution 300 so it's nice and clean. And click Create. There we go. So now I have a new file. All right. And the one thing that we're going to learn with this new tutorial is how we can download some cool brushes and get those into Photoshop. Because we want to create this awesome splatter effect on a full document. And then that full splatter effect gets clipped to our threshold, and that's how we create that effect. So let's go ahead and find a way to download some nice brushes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Google Chrome. And I'm just going to go to Google. I can get rid of some of these nonsense tabs here. And I'm going to type in free splatter brushes. And I'm going to choose this top one here, splatter free brushes. And we have a bunch of crazy splatter brushes here that really work out pretty well. So I'm just going to choose one that I think, I kind of like a lot. Again, if it says premium next to it, it means it costs money. So unfortunately, we can't use those. But I'm going to grab one that looks like ink splatters, that looks like kind of ink. Ooh, I like this spray paint one. I'm going to grab that one. So I'll click it. And I'm just going to move all of this stuff over here. So now I'll click free download. And it'll pop up in this left corner here. And I'm going to drag this over. Now it's a zip file on the left. I can minimize this now. It's a zip file, so I need to double click it. And it'll open a little folder. And in here, you're going to see an ABR file. So that's all we need. You don't need to open it. Don't need to click it. Just know that that's there. So we're going to go back to Photoshop and install our brush. So make sure we're on our blank file here. I'm going to go to import, my apologies. I'm going to go to Window, Brushes. And then up on the left here, ignore all of my crazy brushes here, you're going to see 4 lines. Okay, and that's going to be another little drop-down menu. So I'm going to click on these, so I'm right here on the top right, click these lines, and I'm going to click Import Brushes. And now on my desktop, I'm going to find my 20 spray paint brushes. There it is. There's the ABR. I'll click Open. And look, right here in my menu, it popped up. If you can't see this menu, if it's really like smushed, just make it bigger, make it taller. So then I'm going to click this. And now I have all these awesome spray paint brushes. So I'm going to grab some different colors here. Boom, grab that. Maybe I can grab this one. I can grab this one. I'm going to add some maybe green in here. I can even grab, this one's kind of cool. So I'm going to add some yellow, add some blues. Boom, change the scale of my brush. What you don't want to do, which I'm kind of doing right now, is the same size brushes. You want to make sure that you're changing your brush size, changing the scale. If you go up to brush settings, up at the top here, I can change the direction that that brush is flowing. So I can have it kind of dripping maybe off to the side here. I can rotate this little guy, have some drips going that way. I can make this really small, maybe grab some purple, add some splashes there. I could go in and grab, let's go see what other kind of brushes we got here. This one's kind of cool. Ooh, that's a good one, nice and small. Okay, I'll make that another purple one there. Again, you don't want too many of the same sizes, too many of the same brushes. You can adjust your opacity so that they kind of get like a cool overlay there. Maybe make this more blue. Right, maybe this one. Kind of cool there. I'll change this to maybe some green again, some brighter green. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I can do that. Maybe I'll grab this drippy one. Maybe add another nice purple in there. Maybe out on top. There we go. That looks pretty cool there. Maybe I'll do another small little purple drip here. Good. Maybe I'll take another blue. You want a good amount of even colors here. Things that are looking kind of similar, kind of the same, right? Not too crazy, not too big. And you want to fill the page. You want the page to be covered, and you don't want any white spots, right? I can actually mix in. If you download another brush, I have some splash here's. I can add some paint splashes to this. This could be kind of cool. Some ink splats. There's one. I can maybe make this, get some of that darker blue in there, the darker purple. Boom. There's a good one. It's a little dark for my liking. There we go. Rotate that, go the other way, bam. Maybe I get some of this dark blue in here, bam, bam, there we go. Perfect, it's looking great. So now, I need to get my splatter layer onto my picture layer. So I'm just gonna go up to layer. I'll scroll to duplicate layer. Now it says destination here. So I need to choose my pixels or whatever that tab on the top left is there. So I'm going to go document. I'll choose pixels and click OK. And now I have, look at that, I have my paint layer right on top of my face. So I'm going to resize this just so that it fills only the size of my thresholded face. Kind of about right there. Perfect. Click and hit return. Now, all I'm going to do is create what we call a clipping mask. And a clipping mask will clip only the paint into my face picture so that we get, if you look here, so that we get this effect. So I'm going to go up to layer. Make sure your background layer is activated on top. I'm going to go layer. And I'm going to go to create clipping mask. And boom, there it is. So now I have my spatter and spray paint inside of that layer. And I can hit Command T. I could rotate this, I could resize this, make it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit smaller, get some of those effects in there. That looks actually pretty cool right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new layer because I want to add some outside splatters around the edges of things. So I'm going to add a new layer. And I'll drop this all the way down on top of my white. And I'm going to make this brush kind of small here. And I'm going to add just some splatters, different sizes, different shapes. Go back to my brush menu. Rotate that brush a little bit so it's going the other way. Kind of get some up here, maybe some by the purple. A little bit bigger. Maybe I make this color green. Good. Maybe I get some green down here by his arm. Got a camera there. Maybe I get some up on top of the camera. Get some blue up on top of there. That could be kind of cool. Nice. And that's starting to really come together now. It looks like it's splattered. When you do this outside splatter, you don't want to fill in the areas that are white around his face. Otherwise, it will cause some issues. You want to make sure that you're leaving those areas untouched. All right. So what I can do is add a layer mask to this. If I get any mishap, grab a black brush. And I can go in and kind of erase anything that I may have not liked or done. I could use a regular brush or a splatter brush. All right. And now what we can do is we can play around with the background. We can add a vignette to this. So if I add another layer underneath, and I grab maybe I grab a brush, a regular brush. I've got a soft brush here. And maybe I use black. I'm going to take the opacity really low here. And we can get a nice, maybe I'll increase that opacity just a little bit more just so we get to see this. You can kind of create this really cool looking vignette effect there. You could put a texture back there. You could put a couple different things back there and get it to really look kind of nice. All right. So now we could even try what does it look like if the background was black. I don't know if I like that too much. It looks a little too neon weird. This looks really good. You can even try like maybe instead of white, we try like a cream color. That looks kind of cool. But again, get it the way that you like it. And then I'll go to File, Export, Export As, make it a JPEG, and export it to my desktop. And then that's what you would submit for this day's tutorial. So best of luck and excited to see what you come up with. Alrighty, see you soon.